first of 3 features tonight. And I am very happy to be hosting tonight for this brother doing his feature. He is an inspired word regular, comes through all the time, whether it's poetry. When he does his poetry, he's a fantastic poet. Fantastic poet. Storyteller, comedy in the genre of a Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, just true life stories. A huge selection of t-shirts. They say I don't wear the same suit twice, I never see him in the same t-shirt twice. And a very humble and engaging spirit, so I'm very happy he's featuring tonight. I had the dubious distinction of making him Italian several times before I got his last name right. But we're gonna do it right tonight. What I need you to do is to start picking up the energy. As we welcome to the mic, Mr. Pierre Fontenelle.
Hello! Don't worry. I'm not gonna talk about assholes and eating them out. I'm not gonna do it. You guys, Inception is real. It's real! I got asked to do this thing about 3.5 weeks ago, and all I was excited to do this thing. And the past 3 days, the only question that everybody's asked me is, are you nervous? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you nervous? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you nervous? Are you nervous? I was like, no. As soon as I walked in the door, I was like, I need a drink, man. Mike told me I should drop Pierre and I should just go by Fontenelle. I like my whole name, guys. A couple of weeks ago, I was at an open mic, and this comedian, he was talking about Jason Derulo. He was like, I'm gonna do my name like that so people get it in their heads. And I was like, that's genius. So if you guys hear me sprinkle in Pierre Fontenelle, that's just me trying to inception you. I want to talk to you guys tonight about something that's been lingering on my mind for the past couple of days. You guys, I'm getting old. And I know you're like, that boyish face, you can't be getting old. But you guys, next month, I'm turning 28 years old. No. 2 years, I'll be 30. 30! I remember when 30 was a dirty word. Well, it's never really dirty for guys, because guys are just worried about like their hair, not about their age. But like girls, 30 is some milestone that like, they have to accomplish a certain amount of stuff by the time they get 30. Like some girls turn 30 and they're like, I'm not 30, I'm turning 29 again. I still got some shit I gotta get together before I turn 30 for real. But I know I'm getting older because I'm reaching that stage where like at least one of my parents is talking to me about stuff like settling down, getting married, having children. Surprise, it's not my mom. She's already got 7 grandkids. I'm totally off the hook for that. We need to be some grandbabies conversation. Totally off the hook. In fact, my mom still considers me her baby, all right? But my dad's talking to me about marriage. I'm just like, bro, because I talk to him like that. I'm like, bro, I don't know about all that. And in his mind, he thinks that like I have something against marriage, which is not true. I just feel like in today's society, people don't give marriage the respect that it deserves. I mean, you got these 40-day marriages, these 70-day marriages. People are agreeing to things that they don't really believe. I think we need to update the vows. I think it needs to be something more like, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, to love, for as long as you find her attractive, her nagging tolerable, till something better does you part? I do. Now I appreciate marriage that sustains time. Like my parents, they've been married 43 years. Give it up for them, guys. I actually had the privilege of being with them on their 40th anniversary. And now the thing is, my dad, he was being a little bit smug. He was like, 40 years. How many people you know can say they've been married 40 years? And my mom, she didn't like that too much. She just looks at them and she smiles and she goes, yeah, but how many of those years were happy? But my parents, they do love each other. It's just that they butt heads a lot, you know? But I do think there are some people that should never in their lives get married. Like my friend in the Air Force, if this guy introduced me to some girl, was like, this is my fiance, I'd basically be like one of those black kids in the movies, like, run bitch, run for your life! You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, he's a good dude. But like, he's just not like the marriable type. For one, he's not very reliable. When I was in college, I need this guy to help me check out of the dorms. He was supposed to show up at 7 p.m. He showed up at midnight.
Oh my God.
Even by colored people's standards, that's late. It's late. The other thing is, you know, he's upwardly mobile when it comes to women. Like he's talking to this one girl, he found out that her friend liked him, he thought she was hotter. He went out with her instead. I don't think women want their groom to be looking at their bridesmaids as potential replacements. I don't think that's something that they want. The other thing too, this guy likes, you know, he's just like, he likes sex with a lot of different people. Like I said, he's in the Air Force, and he was stationed out in Germany, and this guy kept trying to get me to come out there, and his basic pitch was just about how like German girls love American men. I mean, it was like this guy was trying to recruit me to radical Islam. It was like, they're not exactly virgins, but there are 72 of them, and you don't have to die first. But he did get married, and I found out about 4 months into it, presumably so that I couldn't warn her to run away. And a year into it, I basically, you know, I met them and I asked him the question that was lingering on my mind the entire time, and I was just like, have you been faithful? And he said no. I was like, come on, dude, you gotta do better. You gotta do better than that. I'm thankful to say that, you know, he's taken my advice, because this past Valentine's Day, he got her something that she wanted for like a while now, and that's a divorce. Filed in December, just happened to be official February 14th. Now I found out about his divorce a couple of months into it, and like he was telling me that he was already, you know, he's like, can you believe it? She's already dating somebody else. And I was starting to feel bad about it. I was like, oh, that's bad, man. I was like, what about you? Are you seeing anybody? He's like, no, just fucking. I was like, oh, okay. I guess you're doing all right then. So, you know, like, that's the difference between me and him. Like, he likes lady parts, I like ladies. Now, I am single. And, you know, the thing is, I think that liking girls is one of my problems, because girls tend to come into one of two categories. Girls that I like and girls that like me. And those seem to be very mutually exclusive groups. I'm convinced that some of these girls that do like me have an app on their phone that's like, he likes you, girl, because as soon as I decide to like them, it's like, I don't like you anymore. Like, the only thing that was desirable about me was that I didn't desire them. My other problem is that I think I put myself in the friend zone. Because, like, I realize that, you know, pretty girls are not some, like, product that has gone out of stock, and it's like, you gotta get one while they last. And so, you know, I try to be their friend and everything to get to know them first, which always ends up in being the guy that they talk to about the guy they're sleeping with, not the guy that they are sleeping with. Now, I have a piece of advice. Well, it's not really advice, it's a request. Ladies, if you have a guy that's in the friend zone, please stop giving him these, like, backwards, empty-handed compliments. Like, I'll have girls come up to me and be like, man, I wish I could get a guy like you. And the whole time I'm just looking at them thinking, well, I'm a guy like me. I was on a stroll with a friend. Now, the thing is, you know, I'm a cool guy, so strolls are not the same with me. And in the middle of the stroll, she goes, you know, I wish I had a boyfriend I could do this stuff with. And I was just like, why would you insult me like that? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you basically just said, you know what would make this better? If I was doing it with somebody else. Like, I wish there was a guy that I could get with, that's not you, that I could do this stuff with. But I figured it out, you know, I'm not stupid, I figured it out. I got what they were saying. It's basically, I wish there was a guy that was just like you that I also want to have sex with. Now, I mean, it's cool, you know, I get it. Just because I look good on paper doesn't mean that I'm desirable. I mean, women like, this, you know, just we talking about. Women like security. Women like guys that they feel safe and secure with. I present to you Exhibit A. I'm not gonna beat anybody now. It's not gonna happen. Girls like alpha males. I am somewhere further down the line on that Greek alphabet. Like, you're never gonna hear a woman say, oh man, you know the way you talked your way out of that argument really turned me on. No one is ever gonna say that. It's never gonna come out of a woman's mouth. Women don't like pushovers. Now, I am not a pushover, but I probably look like a pushover because I'm very accommodating. And that's something that I get from my mother. Because my mother, she raised me to be a nice guy, and I think she did a little bit too good of a job. I don't say that to mean like I think I should be an asshole or something. I just mean like I've been nice for so long that I've taken choice out of the matter. Like, I'm automatically nice. I am subconsciously nice. I went to a restaurant once, okay? Now, I didn't particularly like my food, but every so often, I'm sticking my fork in and I'm taking another bite. I couldn't tell you why. And then my friend, she sees and she goes like, do you realize every time the waiter walks by, you take another bite? Like, this guy didn't even make the food. He just brought it to the table. But in my mind, I was like, I don't want this guy to feel bad. I want to go back to the age thing. It's crazy to me that I'm getting so much older because, like I said, I don't look that old, right? Now, people have been telling me, when you get older, you're gonna love that. I still don't love it, okay? I'm almost 30 and I'm still like, I don't like this too much. A few months ago, I was at a club with my friend, and this girl was dancing with him, and I looked over, and she's got this like face of disgust. Now, I'm starting to feel a little bit insecure, like, damn, I am so ugly that my presence is offending this woman. But that wasn't it, because when she started dancing with me, she kept telling me about how cute I was. But she had an exchange with my friend, and so I go up to him and I'm like, what did she just say to you? And he's like, nah, man, she was just like, who let this guy in here? He looks about 19. But I start dancing with her, and, you know, she asked me to guess how old she is. Now, she looks to me about 32, but I'm smart. I know you don't give your actual guess. So I subtracted 5. I was like, oh, you're like my age, right? She was actually 40. It's like, all right, 40 looks good on you. But then she makes it really awkward because we're dancing, or, you know, what counts for dancing today, which is dry humping. And she goes, you know, I'm old enough to be your mom. And I was just like, yeah, if you were a slutty 12-year-old. What are you talking about? You're 13 years older than me. I don't actually go clubbing all that much anyway, because, you know, clubs, they like to cater to the stylish and beautiful, and I'm only beautiful. Like, I don't like to dress up, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to Nathan P it up, okay?
Nathan P it up.
Because for me, that feels kind of pretentious. Now, I'm not saying Nathan P is pretentious. Nathan P is a cool, smooth dude. He wears a cool, smooth dude's uniform, right? I feel like people's clothes should represent the kind of people that they are, right? Like me, my shirt, it's cute, it's playful, It's kind of innocent, but at the same time, it's very perverted, okay? And that's me in a nutshell. That's me in a nutshell. The other thing with clubs though, like I don't even get the dress code at clubs. Like I got a flyer for a club and it basically said, the first line on the dress code was, no graphic tees and no sneakers allowed. The very next line said, graphic tees and sneakers okay with blazer. Like if I try to go to a club like this, they'd be like, go home you bum, learn how to dress. If I put a jacket on, you look very dapper, sir. Right? And like the whole thing about the uniform, it doesn't even matter, like your dress code doesn't matter depending on how famous you are or like who you know. Like I want to be famous not for like money and girls and all that stuff. I want to be so famous that I can go into a club wearing whatever I want, even if it's something very ridiculous. Like I want to be so famous that I can get in the club wearing Forever Lazy, okay? And when I walk in Forever Lazy, I just can imagine like the situation outside, like, yo, did they just let that nigga in a Snuggie? Don't you know who that is? That's Pierre Fontenelle. You guys, thank you for listening to me. I enjoyed you all. And, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your show.
One more time for Pierre Fontenelle. Give him some more love. Up and coming poet, comedian. I'll go clubbing with you in the Snuggie. I'll just have French cuffs on the elastic and we'll rock it out. Give him some more LOVE.